Mark Rogers TV, always talking college football. We bring in Marlon Character Jr. He's a recent commit to South Carolina. Marlon, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
What have you been working on there?
I just got out of practice. Actually, I'm down here in Northwest Mississippi, and this first day of opening up, the first day of fall camp was pretty good. First day in the pass, back in the passes. I left Auburn, so pretty good day.
Excellent, excellent. So you got to kind of take us through the process of selecting South Carolina. So you've been on campus with Auburn. You've been there. You actually had a tremendous spring by all accounts with the Auburn Tigers, but going to play some football this season with the Northwest Community College there in Mississippi, but long-term with the Gamecocks in Columbia. So why South Carolina?
Well, South Carolina, I just got a lot of love for the school, and the coaches, they've always treated me like one of the players, since they were recruiting me in high school in 10th grade. And I just always felt like that was a great choice since the first time I committed when I was in high school. And I feel like this is an even better choice now, leaving Auburn with the same coaches that have been there that recruited me from Auburn, ended up being at South Carolina. So I feel like they have a plan for my future, and I just can't wait to get there to contribute and help out.
So you mentioned Will Muschamp in particular, but a number of coaches who have made the transition there from Auburn to South Carolina. So you got a connection there. You've built a relationship from a few years ago.
Yes, sir. Not even just coaches from Auburn. Like even my first offer from Georgia was from Coach B-Mac. When he was at Georgia, now he's at South Carolina, and my first offer from Alabama was from Coach Lance Thompson, and he's at South Carolina. So a lot of coaches that I know faces and built relationships with them from other schools as well.
Very good. So we're on the line with Marlon Character Jr., South Carolina commit just this week. Going to play football at Northwest Community College in Mississippi this season. Came out in the 2016 class as a safety. Was generally where you were categorized top 15 player at your position out of Atlanta, Georgia. Marlon, we hear a lot about the competition in the high school ranks in a number of areas of the country. Florida gets a lot of attention, California and Texas, but certainly Georgia plays some high level of football. So can you talk about some of the guys that you played with and against and the competition there in the Atlanta area? Because I've heard reports that no metropolitan area produces more NFL players than Atlanta.
Yeah, I feel like that can be true. It's always a lot of competition coming from the inner city. But it's a lot of even competing with guys from Florida. I had the chance to do that, with 7-on-7s and traveling, playing against those IMG guys up there and different teams, different all-star teams. So it's a lot of competition all around. But I do feel like the inner city of Atlanta is it's a lot of competition there, from playing with guys that I grew up with and now just playing D1 ball as well at different SEC schools, ACC schools. It's just good to see guys further in their careers.
Marlon Character joining us here on Mark Rogers TV, making its commitment to South Carolina this week, playing football at Northwest Community College in Mississippi this fall. So the Auburn situation, can you just give us an idea of what was the change of heart and what went through your mind in regards to making a change in career direction?
Well, I just felt like it was just time to move on, for a new beginning with new coaching staff and new players. So that's about it.
When we hear what coaches have said about you, what even your teammates at Auburn and other places have said about you, speed comes to mind, and not just sheer athleticism, but knowledge of the game, ability to cover man-to-man, turn your hips quickly. What do coaches say about you, and how would you characterize your game?
They say they like my length. Coaches love a cornerback with length, and that's what I'll be playing. I feel like that's what I'll be playing. I know I'll be playing at South Carolina. I'm playing it now. So just perfecting my craft on that corner position. I have pretty good speed, but I also want to get faster, want to get stronger. I'm at about 195 right now. I can stay right there for the season, but I'm pretty sure as time goes by, I'll pick up more weight and get a lot more stronger. So I feel like my game is more physical, from playing safety all through high school and even a little bit at Auburn. Downhill and tackle and make hits and make hits, and it gets notarized from corner. coming down making hits and that can cover. So that'll be great.
So is it difficult coming from a school like Auburn where football's a huge deal and then moving on to South Carolina where obviously you're staying in the SEC, most likely the best conference in college football, but here in between you've got this season at Northwest Community College. Is it going to be difficult for you to focus on the task at hand and not think about, hey, I want to get to next season?
All right. I just take it day by day. I don't rush the process. I trust the process. And every day I just make that another day to get better at what I'm doing, and just stay focused and just learn from my mistakes and just get better and grow every day. So I know it'll be on the way. It's like those. I count down a month. Some days I just can't wait to get South Carolina, but it'll be there. I'm really ready for the season here at Northwest though to see what we're gonna do this year. I feel like we have a pretty good team, and I feel like we'll be able to compete pretty well with some teams.
So, Marlon, you probably can't relate to this because it's been a while, but for an old guy like me, it's been about 15 years, and that was my area of the country and covering the SEC. So I'm pretty familiar with Northwest Community College bringing in some top-end players as a transition. So I got to think that you're going to be on the field with a number of guys in a similar situation that are moving on to a big-time school. And so the football is pretty serious there as well in regards to just talent on the field.
Yeah, it's a lot of talent on this team. I can say it's a couple guys with some offers, some big time offers, and even like going against the receivers, some receivers with some talent, good speed, good route running, push me every day. It's good competition. And I know a couple guys at some other schools that we will be playing this year that came from big schools or I know are going for a fact are going to some big schools, and I look forward to competing against those guys as well. So yeah, it's a lot of talent in JUCO.
Marlon Character, recent commit to South Carolina, had originally 36 offers out of high school as a top 15 rated cornerback and safety out of Atlanta, Georgia. Spent some time at Auburn, Northwest Community College this fall before he gets ready to play for South Carolina in 2018. Marlon, we appreciate the time. Good luck to you. We'll be following your career, and we appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you for reaching out to me.